All right, here I am again. Episode 2, Malt Liquor Fridge podcast. It's 5:30 p.m. right now. I'm outside my house, sitting in a chair in the sun, trying to get a little bit of sunlight, drinking some coffee, and I have my shirt off, trying to get a suntan. This might be a brief podcast. I'm just doing it now because I figured I might as well. Right now, I'm finalizing those 2 albums I was talking about yesterday. Actually, it's the same day. It's still May 24th. But I'm finalizing those 2 albums, and what I'm doing is making sure I already have the tracks, and I have them the right length, and I have them in the right order. What I'm doing now is making sure they're all kind of a similar volume, and a good volume. A good volume meaning they're not too loud, not too soft. And I don't want some tracks to be way too loud. I don't want others to be too soft. I want them all to be kind of even and have it run evenly. I think it's a pretty good mix of songs. I'm kind of tired of it now because I've been listening to it for... I've listened to all these tracks a bunch of times. This might be a very brief podcast. Some people walking by on the road. Sucks, man, because all this stuff just takes so much time to do. But I think it's a good exercise because I have tons of recordings. And what I want to do is just compile all the stuff I've done, which I think will have 2 main benefits. One, it'll be kind of like I'm getting it out of my system. Since I have tons of stuff, literally tons of stuff that I've recorded and also written. I have things I've written, all kinds of material. So it's all just sitting around. It's just accumulated. So I think putting it in some kind of format and getting it out there in some way, I have zero expectations of anyone listening to it. But I think it'll be a good exercise and a good way to get into the habit of making my creativity into a kind of business or something. Since I've never been very diligent about the upkeep of whatever creative stuff I'm doing. And with the internet, it tends to get really scattered. I put some stuff on YouTube. I'll link it. I post on Facebook. I had a Twitter account. Stuff tends to just get scattered around. So I think having a main place where you put everything is a good idea. But yeah, with this album, the main thing I'm doing is mixing the tracks and making it so that it runs very smoothly and it's all kind of a similar volume, similar level of volume. And the way I'm doing that, I'm using a program called Reason, which I bought to make beats and do stuff like that. I'm using that program to assemble the album. What I'm going to do, what you do is I have all the tracks, and you just put one track in, make sure it's of a good volume, export it, do the same with a different track, and then in the end you compile them all together, and that way they'd all be the same kind of volume. What else to talk about? That's really it. I might just call this podcast Extra. It's really bright outside. The sun's really bright, really hot. My mom's going somewhere. Gotta move my chair, a little lawn chair. Yeah. Yeah, I see.
I'm going to get some fresh fruit. I'll be back.
All right, see you. Okay. Yeah, still feel just tons of anxiety. Just feels like everything's too much work. Although it's actually not. It's not that bad. Hear the birds chirping. Very nice. Yep, I think I'm just gonna call it there, man, and maybe get back in and do the rest of my freaking album. I can do it, man. I'm just gonna do it. Still have anxiety. Really, it's not so much mental anxiety as physical. I just feel it in my body. Yeah, that's the main thing I'm doing today is just these 2 albums. So I guess I'm going to go finish that. I'm going to call this episode 2. It's not episode 2, it's just Malt Liquor Fridge 2, and then a title. I might just call this like Extra. Malt Liquor Fridge Extra. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I just came out here to talk about that, to take a little break from my process. I'm gonna get back to it. I'll see y'all later.